Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Jermaine Higgins with Hire GI. I wanted to create a short little video. I want to call it Using Your Sales Skills to Find Employment. Um, I know that right now it can be very difficult looking for employment, especially if you're transitioning or a military spouse with the way the economy has slowed down with employment. And even at its best, it's still very difficult with the transition. I'm sure that some of you guys are nervous. You applying to over 200 jobs, haven't got one interview, and you're like, man, this is crazy. Nobody wants me. I want to give you some insights on maybe some tools that are accessible to you that you can use that may be very helpful in the job search. This technique is not for everyone, but I would say if you take it with a positive thought process, put in a little bit of hard work, I can assure you will definitely be very helpful for you and get you through the clutter. And so as you can see, I'm on LinkedIn. Some of you guys have the free premium service, okay? But I want to introduce you to another platform called Sales Navigator, okay? This is really used for salespeople to find leads on LinkedIn. And you as a job seeker are constantly selling yourself to the employer. So my thought process is you can use Sales Navigator to help you sell your brand and who you are for employment. And this is just a backdoor way of getting yourself some attention and getting out of the clutter of other job seekers, right? It allows you to stand out. So this approach does require some work. The first step before you even use Sales Navigator or even premium, I think you could do the same thing on your premium services, okay? Is the first step you have to do is ask yourself, who do I want to work for? So let's peel that back, all right? Let's say you're at Fort Bragg and you're like, man, my kids are really comfortable here. They're about to graduate in Fayetteville. I don't want to leave Fayetteville. Well, then who are those companies in Fayetteville that you want to work for, right? And you need to think about who are they, right? Then within that, you have to ask yourself, what are they applying for? What jobs do they have? So I need to then do some research, whether on their website, whether on other social media sites or job boards, what are they applying for, okay? Or what jobs are they looking for? Then I need to look at the duties and responsibilities and target my resume to that job posting. Now, let me go on a side tangent before I move forward. What I want you to understand, and the biggest mistake that most people make, is they think that one resume will get you a job, okay? What people fail to understand is a job posting is the employer's way of saying, this is the perfect person. This is who we want. You posting any job or any resume is like hoping that your resume will stick. But when you target your resume, you are telling the employer how perfect you are. And because very little people take time to target their resume, it will stand out. Okay. So you want to find out who you want to work for, find out what job within that company, then you want to target your resume for that employer. Does that make sense? Now, once you have that, this is where you become the sales navigator to separate yourself. Okay. Now, you'll see when you set up your sales navigator, you can actually do alerts. So those 20 companies you want to work for, you can do alerts about what's going on with those brands. So if I wanted to work at SpaceX, right, I could then go in here before I apply or when I'm going through the interview process and get a better understanding of what's going on with SpaceX. This will allow me to be very knowledgeable during the interview. This will allow me to be knowledgeable about the organization. This will allow me to feel very productive and knowledgeable of the brand, okay? If they're big enough to be on here, okay? That's the exception. But let's say one of my brands is Home Depot, okay? So I want to work for Home Depot. You'll see here that Home Depot let's go to another brand, not Home Depot. Let's say Walmart. So right now you have a results of 850,000 results, right? And then you'll see that mention similar companies, etc. Now you'll see certain people that have LinkedIn profiles, like the senior vice president, CFO, Walmart of e-commerce, etc. But this is a lot of people to go through. You'll see the vice president of human resources. Okay. Now, what I would recommend you doing is going over here to the title category and put in human resource manager or talent acquisition manager. Okay, now it's going to bring up all the people that have that in their job title. Okay, now what's important for you is you will need to scroll through this and see which one of these persons may be in your area, right? Because if you're at a store level, it's going to be a different type of HR person. If you're looking for corporate, maybe a different HR person, right? So like, for example, this is Walmart e-commerce, health and wellness, right? So you would need to kind of scroll through and kind of better figure out, you know, right here is talent development. So you may come through here and look a little bit, right? And do a little bit of research, regional healthcare, right? So you may kind of play a little bit, which some of these job titles are the same, but you could also look at what city they are. So this one is in Washington versus New Jersey. So you kind of narrow it down a little bit, right? Right now, this person's at the distribution center. So that might be your key person. All right. So let's say Christine B is who kind of fits to the job that I'm looking for. All right. So what you could do first is go here and kind of get a better idea of who is Christina, right? So you'll see that she went to Kellogg, Keller Graduate School, not Kellogg, excuse me. She's a field project supervisor. She's in human resources. And I can kind of get a better idea of who she is, right? Some of her recommendations, skills, etc. Looks like she went to Georgia, has a following of Georgia Southern. Now, at this point, you'll see that she put in her platform, she's a retail management professional, currently focusing on logistics, supply chain, human resources, okay? So what I would do next is, okay, Christina, I want to send my resume to you. So guess what I'm going to do? I can click on message. It's going to give you the ability to have 30 messages, right? Now, I just told you to pick 20 companies you want to work for and what positions within those 20. Well, what you want to do here is you want to create a clever title, military spouse with strong qualifications, interested in logistics management position. But the body of your message is your cover letter. If you do not know how to write a cover letter, do some research. Bring out some of the skill sets based off that job posting to make it seem appetizing of why you're a good candidate. Now, your cover letter is obviously designed for the reader to be interested in opening your resume or reading your resume, okay? And then your resume goes into detail of your accomplishments of the skill sets required. Two different things, right? Cover letter is highlighting the skills that person's looking for. Resume tells me what you've done with those skills and the results of those skills, okay? So in this body, you're writing the cover letter, okay? Now, right here with this little screw is where you're gonna upload your resume. Now, that resume is targeted, which is awesome. Now, you may close the message with, I look forward to hearing back from you as I'm extremely interested in this position. Now, you just basically sent your resume directly to that person. I can assure you that nobody is sending her messages on LinkedIn with their resume. I can assure you, there's not a lot of people doing that. Two, if they respond back with, hey, Jermaine, thank you, but I need you to go online and apply, right? What you want to do is go online and actually apply. Then come back and say, thank you, Christina. I've actually went online. I've applied for the position. I hope, I feel that my skill sets are a perfect fit for this position. Please, I look forward to next steps, something of that sort, okay? That's a possibility. The other thing you could do with this is three things. Is you see here where it tells me shared connections, right? If I know those shared connections and have a relationship with those shared connections, I could then reach out to these individuals and say, hey, I see that you're connected to Christina. Let's click on it. So I clicked on the shared connection and I see K. Rennie Ward, right? I can say, hey, I see that you're connected with Christina. Do you mind reaching out to her and giving a recommendation about my skill sets? Does that make sense? And then now you have someone helping to endorse you, okay? The other thing you can do with this inner message is if you're transitioning, your military spouse, let's say you haven't worked for 8 years, you home taking care of the kids or whatever. You could say, hey, Christina, my name is Jermaine Higgins. I have a passion for working for logistics. I've been in the military for the last 20 years, and I'm now about to transition out. I wanted to send my resume to you because you seem like a very successful person in HR. Do you mind reviewing my resume and providing some constructive feedback that may allow me to get a position in logistics within your organization or within the industry? Let's just say that. Now, what happens is if Christina takes it, looks at your resume, provides some feedback, the feedback that they're going to provide is most likely going to be feedback that's targeted towards her organization, all right, of things that she looks for within her organization. This is natural thought process. Now, the resume that she's going to be critiquing is the targeted resume that you wrote. So now she's forced to analyze your resume beyond the 7 seconds that most people read a resume. If she comes back and provides any type of feedback, whether it's, hey, this looks really great, to, oh, I think you should bring out more of this, bring out more of that. Well, guess what you do? You do whatever feedback is provided. And then you make those changes, resend it back, and then apply for that position with her support, right? Now you're allowing your net of people to work for you, right? Now, I would say that that technique works really well if you're retiring or transitioning out the military and you're leveraging the ability that you are transitioning. And so they're more likely to help you because of that transition, understanding the struggle that that transition consists of. The other thing I would do is, now that I've built a relationship with Christina, you may ask Christina, hey, is there anyone else in your network that may be looking for someone of my skill sets? Do you mind introducing me to somebody, anybody in your network? And this may allow you to then be connected to other employers that she may have relationships with. Why that is powerful is because imagine her at Walmart introduces you to her counterpart at Home Depot. Well, now you're now connected by another employer, which is a different introduction than other cases, okay? I hope this is helpful. I hope this is something that you really take heed to and understand the power of this. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, Jermaine with a J, Jermaine @hiregi.com. Would love to help you in any way I can with some other strategies and platforms. Okay, guys, take care. Thank you for your service. Stay strong out there, and let's continue to change the world. Thanks.